Good morning. It's breakfast with Bill or lunch beach. Depends if it's morning time. Depends if you took the Rogue River trip with Indigo Creek Outfitters. That would be breakfast with Bill. Or if you just took the daily run, what would be a daily run? Like the Moab Daily. Moab Daily is a daily run. I think that's only like a 12 or 14 mile section. I think the Rogue is like 46 or 60 miles. You can tell I've been on it. I haven't done it. It's actually a river section. You do haven't ran Raining Falls either. Just I don't know. If I'm in the area, I'm going to go do the High Illy or Illy Falls. Illy Falls is really fun too. So today I'm going to talk about river safety, whitewater river safety. You've always heard, "Not my circus, not my monkeys." Well, when you're in whitewater world, it is your circus and it is your monkeys. You just can't. If you know, and the more experienced you are, like you know what's happening, you know what's going on. One of the biggest things I've noticed in river safety is it's chaotic. So, in the midst of chaos, you need to stay calm. You need to get up in the boat and say, "Peace, be still." The most popular raft guy named Jesus or Jesus said that on a boat one time. They all thought they were going to die in the boat. You're not going to die. You just got to calm down, got to calm your inner self. So, yeah, staying calm in chaos is huge. Some people are like, it don't take no skill to do a creature crap. No, it takes way more. You learn a lot more skills because you're running stuff no one runs. You're getting in hold no one goes in, and you're not in something for a minute or 3 minutes. I watched them be in a hole for almost 25 minutes, and we're in a double oar frame, and they broke 3 of the 4 oars. Someone's hand got a big old hematoma on it. So yeah, there's situations. And stay calm the whole time. Though as crazy it is, you gotta stay calm and assess the situation. So yeah, there was conversations about this before, like, oh, you don't want to go with sketchy people. We're all sketchy people. We're human beings. It's in the nuclear world they call it human error or human performance error, HPE or something, because we're human. We make mistakes. That's why we're having autonomous cars, which are in Phoenix right now, and they're also in San Francisco. Waymo supposedly started, but it was actually with Tesla. So, but no, when you're on the river and you see a situation, it's all about staying calm and assess the situation, and then figure out what's the safest thing to do. We had a wrap on where was that? It was on the Colorado. It was on the Shoshone Run, and I think they pinned. Is it called Tombstone? It's a big old triangle rock, and they went to miss, and they should have just flipped because if you'd have just hit it a third of it, it would have flipped the boat. But instead, they tried to row and miss it, and they perfectly pinned the boat and just wrapped it like a triangle. Like it's a triangle this way, and then their boat triangled around it. So it had like 2 or 3 people on the boat. So the first thing we did was there was 3 people, so we needed to get 2 people off of it because if they were going to swim, they're going to swim anyway. So we threw them a rope, and I was like, tie all your paddles on. So they tied the paddles on. We roped them to the side, and then we threw the rope again, and they jumped in, and we swung them around the shore. We did that to 2 people, and then the third person stayed on and tied the rope on. It's actually just a pull throw rope. So another thing you need to know when you're pulling boats off rocks, like those ropes aren't rated. A throw rope, like a 3/8 throw rope, ain't rated for that strength. And did we snap it? We might have. If we didn't snap it, it came really close. I think we snapped it. Either we snapped it or we didn't. But just to let you know, there's a lot of tension on a throw bag, and it's only you need like a half inch. You need like a 10 millimeter static or 11 or 13 millimeter static climbing rope. A lot better, a lot stronger because there's like I don't know, there's like 10 or 14 strands plus the outer sheath, so it gives it a lot more strength. So again, if you're doing any rope work, like ropes are great. Ropes are great. First off, I hate ropes because they can get around your neck. It's an entanglement. Just like, oh, you're not supposed to have chicken lines around your boat because it's an entanglement. So when someone's like, we got this new thing and it's with a rope and it does this cool stuff, it's like it's an entanglement ultimately. Because the ultimate safety in a boat is tow them in, which is grab them right here, row to them, and then grab them in, or throw to them. The rope or the throw bag is the very last means of rescue at the end of the day. So all this practice with ropes, don't get me wrong, can be great to a point, and even the 3-to-1 or the 5-to-1, because that's what you're going to use to pull off a boat off a rock or something. But at that point, you're not in like, 1 to 3. We got to get them within the next 30 seconds or within the next 3 minutes. You'll see video. They're stuck out there for 15, 20, 30 minutes. Why? It takes you a minute to rig a 3-to-1 or a 5-to-1 pulley system to pull them off. Another thing, people like go brain dead, like, what do we do? What do we do? You need to deflate the boat. Sometimes you need to deflate half the boat or the whole boat. And you're like, well, what does that do? It keeps it from holding. It makes it more pliable and less resistance. You're letting the resistance out, literally. Like, you can let 2 chambers out. So if it's wrapped half, all you gotta do is get rid of one half, and it'll make it easier to pull, because that's fighting against water. You're creating a barrier, you're creating friction. The whole point is to reduce friction at the end of the day. So you really want to reduce friction. So yeah, you got to reduce friction. And like I say, the big thing is to stay calm during chaos. We've had another one on Whtewater. I was part of a rescue. Quarter Mile Rapid has 13 holes, and you kind of drive a little bit, but once you're about at the top, once you get past Shamu, or what I call Whale Rock, like, you're going where the river takes you. You're either going left or you're going right. And from the get-go, from the next 1 or 2 holes you hit or 3, you're going to see where the river's taking you, either going left or right. Well, the problem is at the end of the rapid, there's a big, long tree that's like 70% across the whole back end. So you either got to go far right or you got to go far left. And the tree is the goalpost. You got to miss the ends of the tree. Well, we had a boat literally catch the last 3 feet of a tree and just pin, and turned into chaos, right? So could they have jumped out and swam? Yeah, because from that point on, from the tree down, it's only like class 3. Above that, of course, it's like 5+. So with that, we just like, well, we're going to deal with this. So luckily, 2 of us didn't run. We had a trailer and a boat. So we launched another boat to get closer to them. So we threw a throwback to them, and then the other boat had a come along. And so they tied the throw bag onto the boat, tied the come along onto another tree down the river, and they literally pulled the boat under the log. Again, the way to solve it was they had to deflate. You had to deflate. Remember, deflate, deflate, deflate. Not Watergate, Watergate, Watergate. It's deflate. So you want to deflate the boat. And while all this chaos is going on, we had over, 400 people stop and watch, because, this, again, doesn't take 5 minutes. We were there for a half hour, 40. This was at least a 40-minute show, if not an hour. And I should have started selling popcorn and tickets. And so while we're there, someone called the police, or they called DOW or rescue. So anyway, a cop shows up, and I start being questioned. And so I had to shut that down. And they're like, well, who's this and who's that? And blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, next thing in my mind, keep thinking, right? Chaos. They fly a helicopter. That's like $13,000 or $25,000. They're going to send you the bill for. So I had to explain to them that there was over 100 years of river experience out there. There were no danger, that they could have just swam and we left the boat. And then you're going to be like, whose boat is that? So we'd have had to deal with it the next day, or we dealt with it that day. And that's what I had to tell them. And I eventually said, I'm good. I'm no longer going to answer your questions. It's a little bit of a prick, but I want to pay no $15,000 or $25,000. Don't get me wrong. If I needed it, I'd pay for it, but we didn't need it. So there's a difference for when you need something and when you don't. It's the other reason why you want to get a sat phone, because with your Garmin InReach, this isn't a plug. This is just giving you information, giving you valuable information. This can save your people. Like, that InReach is expensive. It's like $450. It's like $12 a month. It's $120. So let's do the math. 120, and we'll just round up the InReach to $500. So we'll keep rounding some more. So for $550, you can have a helicopter fly come pick you up. And you don't think that's $550? I promise you it's more than that. It's going to be like $5,500. And they charge, it's usually like 12 to 25 to 50. It depends on how far you got to fly, the whole nine. It's at least 12 to 25,000 for a chopper to come get you. I know firsthand. We was on the outside. If it was an emergency flight, it was double. It was going to be like 10 grand or 12 grand. The flight wound up being like less than like 6 grand at the end of the day. So again, keep your head in chaos is the thing. And even though it's like not my circus, not my monkeys, the other thing is karma. The reason you help people on the river, because there's one day someone's going to need to help you. It's the same way with shuttle. I always help if someone needs a shuttle, cram more people in. It's always what we do. We always put more. How many people can fit in that vehicle, in that trailer? Always 10 more and 20 more kayakers. A kayaker will fit anywhere. You can tie them to the bumper as long as they get to the river's edge. That's all that matters. So again, this is Bill Guy with Crazy Bill TV. Just trying to start going live more. Being consistent. You always got to be consistent. Same thing with river. You want to keep going all the time. If you want to get better as a boater, your safety skills get better every time you go. Being around the water, reading the water, in the environment teaches you more than you can read in a book. As always, remember, it's always class 2, plop and drop until you swim.